Hey, lovelies. I wanted to share a journaling piece with you because I think this is really important. This is a really important message. So I've been journaling this morning. I want to keep this video raw, by the way. So, it's quite early here in Thailand. I've just journaled for an hour. So I want to keep in the energy of the experience to share it with you. So it's real, it's authentic. I'm not, going and putting a ton of makeup on. I'm not making sure my sound's right. I'm not making sure everything is right. This is raw in the moment. So you may hear some strange noises in the background because that's people going around their daily life. And you might hear noises from the jungle because it's the morning and everything, of course, wakes up in the morning. But here you go. Here's what I want to share with you. And I'm going to talk you through my experience of journaling this morning because I've been journaling on quite an important subject for many women, and that is how difficult it is to share a personal message of trauma. Now, because I run a business, I need to be visible, and what I have discovered from excuse me, from my conscious coaching reflective toolbox is that I hide behind other people, and that has stopped me from sharing my story. So obviously I'm starting to explore sharing my personal story of trauma, and I'm still hitting roadblocks. I'm still exploring why exactly that is. Why is it playing out? Because I know it's something that I want to do. However, I keep getting stuck in this loop, in a vortex of not progressing, not moving forward. So I've been journaling on why I think that is. Okay, so first things first, I have a particular style when I journal. It's something that I teach my clients. I do it from two perspectives. Now, one is from what I call my higher self. This is the cleanest, most empowered version of myself. No baggage, no history. She is as I want to be. She is my guide. Think of it in terms of stepping into a character, role playing a little bit. And the other person that's talking while I'm journaling is me in the rawness of the experience, the here and now, the baggage, the trauma, whatever it is that's playing out. So I'm having two conversations with myself. So when I'm talking, you see, I told you there'd be unexpected noises. That's a motorbike, a scooter, I should say. I'm going to do this from two different dynamics of myself. So I will say my highest self when that is the pure essence of me, with no baggage, with no limiting beliefs. And then I'm going to do me. So I'll say me as in this experience now, in the here and now. So excuse me looking down. Enjoy the bird noises playing out in the background, and no doubt dogs, bikes, anything else that decides to kick off. Okay, higher self. Okay, I want to talk to you about PR. I have a feeling you're still dragging your feet. Are you, honey? Me. That's a very good question. I think yes and no. I seem to be busy with other things that need doing, so it gets pushed to the side. Higher self. That's definitely an excuse. Me. Yes, I guess it is easy. This is the other thing. I write chaotically when I'm doing my journaling. So now I'm like, what does that say? Yes, I guess it is. I just need to eat that frog first It is the first thing I should be doing rather than putting it to the side. Okay, sorted. That's my higher self. What do you think is really playing out? Me. Good question. I think some of this is about my story. I hear not really sorted it out. It's another. I haven't really sorted I haven't really sorted my story out. So it's another thing, another piece of work that I have to do. Higher self. Hang on, let's look at this. What are you thinking, feeling? Me, and here and now, with all my baggage? Nervous, anxious, unsure, judgment. That's I am not going to be good enough. Okay, lovely. Higher self. Okay, lovely. Okay, let's look at nervous, judgment, anxious. Firstly, thank you for sharing this with me. I know it is not easy. We have a new word here, judgment. Okay. Does that feel heavy? It does. It feels like it's a big black hole. That was me in the now. Higher self, are you judging yourself or fear of being judged? Me in the now, good question. Fear of being seen, trauma, not good enough, judgment from others. What happens is what happens if I'm exposed? My story ripped apart, not believed, not heard, left to suffer, trauma, rejection. So that's me and all my baggage talking to my higher self answering. Wendy, my love, do you know how hard it is to share a personal story of trauma? Really difficult and challenging, my love. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it. It wouldn't be as taboo as it is. I understand all of these emotions you are feeling. Let's face it. If they are all freaking awful. I'm so sorry that your past affects you the way it does today. I want you to know that you are loved, you are safe. I've got you. Tiny steps, my love. You can do this. We can do this together, one day at a time. I want to acknowledge I can still see that you are in deep pain. I can feel it, pain and fear, that I am not believed is coming up. You are okay to take, are you okay to take a closer look at this, hon? So that's my higher self. That's me in my pure essence, being the best that I can. Now, this is me responding with the trauma. Yeah, I think so. Not believed. My memory of the past is so, oh gosh, I wish I could read my writing, is so distorted now. I've let so much go, but some of the things I do remember, sort of, is this sense of not being believed, but I'm not sure what that is in relation to. I cannot pin it down to an event. It is more like a feeling that is hovering around in the background in my mind, like a bad smell. Yeah. Higher self. What is it about sharing your story that makes you, which makes you, I'm not sure what that says. Okay, why do you think it comes up? Me, and here and now. Good question. I am only sharing what I am comfortable with, but I can still feel it. Higher self. Is it for people to believe you? Is it about sharing it anyway, regardless of what people think? Me, in the here and now. It's not about if people believe me or not. It's the it's the something, but that is me feeling frozen. Okay, I know the trauma freezes you in time. It significantly distorts your reality. It turns everything on its head. What you see, believe, feel, it creates layers of shit. So that was me with the trauma. Me as my higher self. Are you still in that shit? Me in the here and now? Yes, I would say I am in overflow, still wallowing in it. I have great conversations with myself. Okay, this is my higher self. Okay, this is great, Wendy, and exciting in a strange way because we both know that you can create a new reality, a new belief system. I can feel that you have a high level of resistance. This is great because you're feeling it, you're waking up. Feel it in every inch of your body. Me with the trauma, you make me laugh. I have no idea how you see this is great, but I'll go with it. Higher self, great. So let's play with this. Somewhere on your journey of life, you have not been believed for whatever reason. It is what it is. What it does not mean, what it does not mean that is the case now, but that does not mean that is the case now. My question is, what will happen? What are you frightened of sharing your story? Me back in the as I am now. Worried, it is as if I feel I am not allowed. I will be rejected, abandoned, not good enough, not heard, not accepted. So I'm paralyzed. It's not normal. It's not something. No one will be interested. It's that I should not be doing it. It's so ingrained that I cannot put my finger on it. It is just an overwhelming sense of don't do it. Higher self. What I'm picking up here is fear, fear of the unknown. While it feels very real, it has no basis in the here and now. It's not real. While it is driving your behavior and putting an invisible barrier between you and sharing your story to help others, it has no legs to stand on. It's all in your head and stored in your body. Okay, what does this tell you, honeybee? Me in the here and now. It tells me that I need to step out. I need to move lovingly through the resistance, lovingly, compassionately recognize that I have been programmed not to share, regardless of where this has come from. Eat that frog, baby. Do it first. Stop putting it off. Deal with the leftover trauma, one step, one day at a time. Recognize it happened for whatever reason. This is all part of how trauma plays out. Move beyond it. Higher self, how would a wild woman deal with this? So a wild woman is a character that I step into to step more into my higher self, to step more into the woman that doesn't have the baggage, that doesn't have this trauma, the limiting beliefs. She is the best pure essence, the best pure version of herself. And I find it very useful to step into the traits and characteristics that she has. I find it really therapeutic. It gives me great guidance, great insight. It means that I can be stronger throughout the day rather than letting all this shit interfere with what it is that I want to achieve. So, how would a wild woman deal with this? She would open up to be able to expand and receive the trait of hers. She would balance vulnerability and power. She would also protect all that is all that is good in the world. So that's me responding in the here and now. Then from my higher self, I've said, I love this. Expand and receive, balance vulnerability and power, protect all that is good. Now, when I finish journaling, some days I will write an acknowledging statement to myself so I can use this throughout the day to ground myself in reality rather than getting stuck in the overwhelming sense of fear, which is what it is that I've been talking about. Higher self, Wendy, you are freaking awesome. Okay, me in the here and now. I acknowledge the deep pain and trauma. I give myself permission to release and let go. You are powerful, open to receive, and protector of all things that is good. It is done. It is done. It is done. Now, while I can't change my experiences and what has happened to me, that is part of my reality. That is part of how I see the world. So I need to not try and brush it over, not get rid of it. You know, as the wild woman says, she balances vulnerability and power. That knowledge, that insight, and that wisdom that comes from those experiences. That's what it is that I'm now embracing rather than just letting it dictate my behavior. But I wanted to share that because it just shows how challenging it is to share a personal story around trauma. Even if you want to share it, there is still this conditioning, still this programming that's running on in the background of your mind that has got you stuck somewhere. It's, it's got you in a loop of fear. I call it the vortex. Once you get into that vortex, it's very unconscious behavior. I teach my clients to move to the side so they can come out of it quicker rather than trying to fight their way out of it, because that's just exhausting and the chances are it's not going to happen. So we always want to move to the side. But I wanted to share this because of that, how difficult it is to share a personal story, even when you want to share it around trauma, because all of this is playing out. So let me ask you, can you see, hear, feel similarities in your own story? Some of the things that you have playing out in your head on a daily basis, when you catch yourself in that moment thinking, oh, where's that come from? What's going on? If you've got any questions, just leave them below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I find journaling for me is a really great way to get under the skin of the things that are stopping me from progressing. So this is a personal performance piece of coaching to clear out the blockages I have on a daily basis that are stopping me from progressing. It's looking at the shadow side of my personality and really acknowledging the light and stepping, I know this is a bit woo-woo, but stepping more into the female leader it is that I want to be and to make the impact ultimately it is that I want to make. But to do that, I've got to clear out an awful lot of shit to be able to move forward the way it is that I do. So whatever you're doing today, beautiful, I hope you enjoyed that little journal extract. I'm going to do more as I feel. If I feel that what I'm journaling on is going to be important to share and it's going to be helpful, then I will share it. I'm not going to share all of my ramblings because some of them just are not going to have any context for you. They're not going to be relevant. But this one I think is especially important. So if you have a history of trauma, if you have experienced some very negative things in your life and you find yourself wanting to do something, but something it's not happening, something keeps getting in the way, there's something else that's playing out. There's something else that needs to be explored. Stay safe. Stay safe, beautiful. Have an absolutely awesome day.